10 MIG welding tips and tricks to make you a better welder. Hey, let's do it. So if you have a large hole that you need to plug and weld over, I've got a great trick for you. If you're welding mild steel, you'll want to use ER70S-2. Now this is TIG welding rod, and this is 1/8 of an inch in diameter. You use the TIG rod as filler. Now, if you're trying to bridge a gap and you keep keyholing and it's too wide to weave, this little bit of extra filler from a TIG rod will do the trick. A good ground is critical to welding. But what if you have an oversized piece or an irregular sized shape and you can't get your ground clamp to work? Well, you take that old battery cable that you saved because it's copper wire, strip off the insulation, and you're left with this solid copper wire. This makes an excellent ground that will wrap around any size, any shaped object. Now you're good to go. So if you're welding 1/4 inch plate, not so big of a deal. But if you're doing thin sheet metal, you always want to put your best foot forward and clip the end of the wire. This slag ball can interrupt the arc and cause you to lose ground. If you're welding material that is greater than 1/8 of an inch, thicker metal, if you don't prep and bevel the joint, you're going to get a very weak weld. As you're welding, you're going to get buildup on the nozzle tip, and that will impede gas flow. That's going to cause porosity and all kinds of problems. What you need to do, remove the nozzle. Keep a pair of welding pliers handy. Get all of that out so that your gas flow is not impeded. Number one trick to produce consistent, flat, perfect welds every time, you use one of these mini vacuum spot blaster. And the way you use this tool, the cone is pliable. You hold it firmly against the metal and a quick blast. And there you have it. There is no better way to prep metal to bare steel. We've been adding new products to our online store every week, all to make working on your project go smooth and easy. The link is in the description, GUZZIfabrication.store. Unless you're doing something specific, you want to set your CFH, cubic feet per hour, for your shielding gas mix between 20 and 25. I usually run at 25. If you have too little shielding gas, you will have issues with porosity. I would rather waste just a little bit of gas, not have an issue with porosity, and not have to come back and grind a weld out and redo it. But if you set the flow rate too high, you can actually pull oxygen into the weld puddle or weld pool, and that will give you porosity also. These are called consumables for a reason. Okay, now each one of these tips are marked. This is 035. They do wear out. And if they do start getting worn, man, you can get an erratic weld. So it's always just good practice These are really inexpensive. Start project off on a good foot. Just replace it. Sometimes you need to make a patch or fill up a much larger size hole or void, and you have no access to the backside. What do? Here's a quick, easy way to do this. Okay, now this is going to be our patch panel. I'm going to drill an 1/8 inch hole in it. And we're just demoing, say, like an antenna hole, like we're filling an antenna hole, putting a patch behind it. And that's so you can roughly cut out your patch. And you'll have to tailor this patch. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Get it cut out here. Now, it can't be too big. It has to just go inside, have enough. This is a mini slide hammer. And it has an 1/8 inch screw on the end of it. So we don't need the weight. Reassemble it. We've got a handle on it now. Now we can thread it right into that hole that we made in our patch. And now, even if you don't have access to the backside, can't get to it, well, we can fish this patch right behind it. It is very secure with that handle. We position, put a little upward pressure on it. Get a couple tacks. And we can put a few more if we want. Unscrew it. And now we can finish out our weld around it. And then fill that hole in the center also. Wire brush that off. You give you a look. Yeah, that's a lifesaver right there. Now we can finish welding that thing out. We're good to go. Hey, I know it's really tempting, but if you don't remove the mill scale, E-coat, or paint from a surface you're going to weld down to clean, bright, shiny metal, you're not going to get a good weld.